Everybody shut up. We're getting started.
Oh, okay.
It's your boy, your nephew, your cousin. It's the Don. Chaz Evans here, checking out the hottest podcast in the world, the 3 Count Podcast.
Hit him with a 3 count. Pin him to the ground and the crowd go wild, man down over y'all like. Hit him with a 3 count. On the top row crowd.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's your boy, your cousin, it's your nephew, it's the Don, the Grappital region's best kept secret, and the host of, and the founder of, and just the face of the 3 Count Podcast. But that's not what we're talking about there today. We are here for Chaz and Friends. I'm Chaz. Let me introduce to you my friends. Introducing first, he is the landlord of the Dog Pound. Normally, he would be the face of the 3 Count Podcast, but it's Black History Month. It's not about him. So, with that, he is your friendly neighborhood Red Dog.
Hey, it's Air Force veteran intel specialist, the one you call on when you need to get the job done in your friendly neighborhood Red Dog. And yeah, I'm gonna let this go all this month because I know come March, I'm gonna be right back at it and be like, yeah. Hey, remember how you hit record on this podcast? Hey, remember how you was like, hey, we need to figure out the time. Hey, remember, you know what? Hey, man, you say we run this show on CPT, right? It was appropriate because you told me on the phone we were probably gonna start the show about 5:30, and then you went maybe between 5:30 and 6, and it is closer to 6 than it is 5:30.
I just want to. This is the funny thing. This is the third week in a row this has happened. But the bad thing about it is that it's because I'm subconsciously wanting to wait for Damian because I know
I appreciate you.
That's really why. That's why I say 5:30 for me. I'll be like, yep, 5:30, cool. We go an hour. They be done at 6:30, which never happens anyway. We never go with just an hour. It's always an hour 15. But I try. But I subconsciously want to wait for Damian. So that's why. But anyway. Since Damian's here,
this show needs to start going at 6 o'clock, and then we can have Damian on the show. It makes sense.
Yeah, he's got a point there. You might as well just do it like 6 o'clock. I'll have
guys,
Sundays off now.
We're gonna start.
But I have Sundays off now, so we're good.
Well, yeah, Damian. You have your Sundays off now. That's different. See, this is all. This is not. I want to everyone. Let me introduce Damian, and then we'll get to all that. Because people don't understand how just the schedule has legitimately just changed everything in a matter of 2 minutes, 3 minutes. I'm sorry, 3 minutes. So, look, first, Damian's here, guys. You know, the supervillain, the Dark Lord. Yeah, I mean, you've already been. Yeah, go ahead, do your shtick.
Yeah, you know who I am. If you're offended, you be all right.
Oh,
just know that you be all right.
That's a shirt.
You be all right.
That's a shirt, which is a good segue for in buying our merch. All right, Pro Wrestling Tees /3 Count Pod. All right, get it while it's still there, because like I said, you never know when it's gonna be gone. It might be gone.
It's still not gone yet.
No, it's still not.
No. David, last week I made that announcement. I was like, hey guys, so if you guys check it out this week, it'll probably still be there because Chaz won't take it down yet.
You still haven't taken it down.
I'll keep forgetting, man.
Well, yeah, come on, man. You got to be productive. It's Black History Month.
You're right. So you guess what? I'm giving myself to the end of the month.
Hold on, doesn't Cliff get a day during this month because of President's Day or something like that?
Cliff wasn't
listen. No.
That's
okay, so just two presidents ago, okay, the president was black, so therefore I don't get a day. We all can celebrate that one day. Remember, like that's usually how.
All right.
Is that allowed? Is that allowed as a joke? I don't know. You know, I'm probably gonna get canceled for that now.
Yeah.
I don't even get the joke.
Look. If we haven't got canceled yet. Because of my mouth, I mean, we're good.
Somebody in the comment section today is going to be like, oh, wait a minute. Cliff thinks that he gets one day because of President's Day, but now that the president's black, everybody gets to celebrate? I think that's low-key racist. And it'll be like, that's crazy. I said we all get to celebrate President's Day.
cheap plug. I saw the movie the new Eddie Murphy movie. You People.
Mm.
Hilarious.
Is it good?
Oh, it's absolutely hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
Maybe I'll make my white family listen to it.
You should. I feel like
I'll
that.
watch
Like it's funny. It's legitimately. I don't want to spoil the movie, but like, oh my god,
how much profanity? How much profanity? Like,
it's a lot. It's a lot.
I was gonna say because if my Mormon mother-in-law watches that, she might have a heart attack.
It's a lot. Because like,
okay, well then I won't let her watch it then.
It's a lot. It's an Eddie Murphy movie. It's an Eddie Murphy like.
Yeah, but sometimes he can be like.
No, this is Eddie Murphy. This is adult comedy. Eddie Murphy.
Okay, all right, got you. Say less.
This ain't Dr. Doolittle funny.
Okay, got you. This is more Eddie Murphy raw funny.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, let's go.
All right. I'll watch it with my wife.
Everybody go check the movie out. It's actually pretty funny. This just because you said that reminded me of that. But anyway, let's get back down to the real nitty gritty. So yeah, if you haven't already done so, follow us on all your favorite social medias. Yeah, buy that shirt too on Pro Wrestling Tees if you didn't catch that because we were talking trash about me not getting it on For Your Wear yet. But yeah, go buy that shirt and follow us on your favorite social media podcasts, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, 3Count Pod.
Stuff up there.
It's up there at the top.
Yeah.
All of you should probably have already followed us by now. But yeah. If you haven't already done so, follow the Red Dog ad. If you see right there, there's his at name. Am I pointing in the right direction?
No, you're the wrong direction, bro. Other way.
Other way. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Don't follow me though.
There's got to be. Well, yeah, don't follow him. Because there's no point. He don't post. He's one of those people.
I occasionally post.
Yeah.
It's occasionally.
Yeah.
So when they say occasionally, Damian, on the questionnaire about when you do like those questions, there's usually occasionally and then there's never. All right? It's never for you. Okay.
I'm in between the never and the occasionally.
Okay. All right, buddy.
I mean, never, it's more like occasionally. It's always like occasionally never post.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, Cliff, let them know what's coming up on Now Enter Ring. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, because I told him I told him to keep it.
Look, just let you guys know, Anthony, thank you for putting that in. It says, yo, love the beard though, and then I love Cliff's casting couch. Hell yeah. Anybody who gets that joke, props to you.
The casting couch.
Yeah. I get that joke.
Yeah, I think we should move on. Next.
We're supposed to be talking about Now Enter the Ring.
So let's talk about Now Entering the Ring, right? So in Now Entering the Ring, you guys are definitely getting our 305th episode, which means it is Mr. 305. No, not Pitbull, but Merrick Miami is coming to the podcast. So you guys need to go check it out tomorrow. I'm sorry, Tuesday at 9 a.m. I think it's when I put it down for. So check it out Tuesday, 9 a.m. Merrick Miami is now entering the ring. You guys need to go check it out. Mr. 305 himself.
Worldwide.
I want episode 313.
Okay. I'm good with that.
All right, cool. This is one of my favorite numbers, 13.
I was wondering, I was trying to figure out the significance of 313. I was like, what does that mean to you?
It's really the 13 part of it.
He's all like, everybody in the 313, put your hands up and follow me.
Yeah, you ain't gonna.
You don't get your 8-mile ass out of here with your damn hood pulled up.
Hey, like I said, you ain't gonna catch me there.
You.
I like the Whiteville that I'm in right now. It's amazing. Peaceful.
I bet you feel like I bet you probably feel like B Rabbit in like reverse right now, being in
a little bit, just a little bit, slightly.
That's
shit.
All righty. So, thank you for Now in the Ring. Buy my wife's book. Here's a plug. All right.
Oh shucks.
Yeah. But
I forgot she put that out.
That is the worst time to put that comment up.
Yeah. It really is though. It really is.
Anyway, yeah, buy my wife's book. You can find on Amazon and wherever else books are sold, I think. Follow her. Brianna.
I'm gonna write a book about my life.
That'd become a New York bestseller, Damian.
I think it will. I might have to do it in a series.
Bruh, you got to see the movie. You got. I'm gonna. You know what? That's what I'm gonna wait till you die first. But I'm gonna make. I'm gonna turn your life into a movie.
It's gonna start from
please wait till I die. Please wait till I die.
Okay.
It's gonna start right after the
who
Big
gets
Bang.
cast as you. I already see that now. They ain't gonna go, why'd you cast him? He looks nothing like me. He can't portray that real niggatry.
Exactly.
Yeah, no. Anyway, let's talk about wrestling. Let's go.
Let's talk about wrestling.
Let's talk about what was going on today.
Oh, I will say one thing real quick before we get in this. You know somebody's stealing our 3 count, right?
What do you mean?
Wrestle Talk.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
we need to hit them up.
That.
We need to hit them up because they got something called the 3 count where they like say 3 words or less about like something that's gonna happen in wrestling. Yeah, they gotta stop that.
Yeah, Ollie Davis, we're looking at you because in America we have a 3 count show and it's the best 3 count podcast around. So y'all need to change that segment to like, good promos or something. 3 words or less.
Yeah, nah.
How about
there
that?
you go.
Listen, there's only so much I can take. There was already another podcast that calls himself the 3 count, but they don't post anything, so I guess they're defunct. So I was like, I ain't worried about them. But listen, Ollie, all right. I'll fight.
I will come to wherever you at, Ollie, and me and you can settle this in the ring.
You know what? That's fine. I like that better. Yeah.
We're looking at you, Ollie Davis, El Fakador, Luke, Chopper Pete. We know all of you. We do the research, by the way.
Exactly.
Intel specialist. We know. SAT. We see you talking on that Saturday morning show. Quit taking our stuff. We right here.
Exactly. We here. Come see us. Come see us.
We ain't hard to find, I promise.
No, especially not me.
Oh, I'm not hard to find. What are you talking about? I'm not hard to find. I'm very easy to find. I just don't want people to find me.
Temp check. Yeah, let's get to it. Let's get to it. Temp check.
All right.
Hottest and coldest wrestler going into this week. Crazy week in wrestling. Coming off the heels of the Royal 3 count. The Royal 3
count.
The Royal Rumble. Let's go. Let's get it.
All right.
Hottest wrestler.
I'll go first.
All right, go. Let's see it. Let's hear it.
I'm gonna have to give like every member of the bloodline, including the former member, like that whole, just like everybody in that situation right now is on fire. And yeah, you know who I'm going with, Chris Jericho. That's not gonna change until he like retires, and even then, it might not change. Like I think he shouldn't go into the Hall of Fame until he dies.
God damn! I don't know if I agree with all that. That's crazy.
I personally will appreciate it more.
Anyway, what you got, Chris?
Okay, so coldest wrestler. I think I'm gonna go with. It's tough this week, man, because anybody that I kind of want to point out, like. They are actually doing stuff, right? Which is kind of like crazy. Because I don't know if I have to pick one, I don't really know who to put out there as far as like coldest wrestler because everybody was like a part of something, right? This week. I mean, I guess I don't know. We go with Chelsea Green, but that's not even a really good one because like she's back in WWE now and she had a huge pop. Like for showing up at the show, even though she wasn't a part of like Raw and SmackDown. She was there. She was in segments, but
she had a segment.
Yeah, but it was like there wasn't really kind of like anything that she could really sink her teeth into, except for like I know they're starting the storyline with Asuka. So I guess like I have to pick somebody just because she got thrown out of the Rumble so quick. Like I might go that route.
But it was still cool though.
It was. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it was. It was so cool seeing her back in WWE. And it's hard because like Nia Jax came back, right? And she was over with the crowd too. And it's like there was just so many people that like you could kind of pick out this week. I think if I'm gonna go with anybody too with hottest wrestler of the week, it's hard not to argue for Sami Zayn, right? Because like
Yeah.
the man, like he turns, right? He turns on the bloodline, right? Gets over. The crowd is hot for him, like at Raw. The crowd is hot for him at SmackDown. Like I kind of want to lean that way too. So I think I'm gonna take Sammy, and it will take Chelsea Green only because I have to pick somebody because I think everybody like had their stand up moments this week.
Yeah, no, everybody was on their game this week, like this past week. I can't disagree with you on that.
We've got some people saying in Bray Wyatt being cold, Sami Zayn.
I disagree with that one.
Aaron said the Red Dog is the coldest wrestler of the week. I think the coldest wrestler, coldest podcaster of the millennium is Anthony Lujan. I said what I said.
I agree.
And,
Yeah.
what's up?
Yeah, I have to.
I know that
Duke.
guy. Valhalla
Yeah.
Vision, shout out to them. All right. Bring back that title so I can win it.
All right, what about you, sir?
My hottest, I can tell you my coldest. My coldest is Darby Allin. I think the title swap, just for him to lose it back to Joe, was a bit of a waste. I didn't think Darby really needed the belt if he's not going to do much with it. Yeah, he went to Japan. That's cool, I guess. But
Okay, I can see that.
I think the match. I think the match was. I like the match they had before better than this one.
Mm.
I can understand that too.
Yeah, I
Like, it wasn't a bad match.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't bad.
It was good for TV. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like,
no, I
it
get
was
exactly what you're saying.
it was like a really good TV match. Like that looked like that belonged.
Yeah, exactly.
I just said that.
And at that point,
Wow,
like I just think, like probably on normal circumstances, I'd probably get mad.
Shit.
It's just the idea that he realized that he's like putting over AEW.
God damn it! Damn it! I said it out loud.
Hey, Tony, keep it up because you know what? You're just chipping at the coldness that is the Dark Lord's heart, and he's warming up to you. Just keep at it, good sir. You do you.
Darn it!
That's the clip. That's what you clip. You clip that.
Facts.
You clip that. That's what you post. You post Damian talking about it was a good match for TV. Yeah, what?
Yeah, it was great. Oh, Jesus. Like, I really said that.
I
You
did
get
say that out
the
loud.
sound effect that goes.
I need to smoke some more Mary Jane. That's why I'm not stoned enough.
Or maybe that's what's telling you it's good.
Maybe that's
No.
Like I actually didn't know what the strain for this week, right? Was it called the love strain? Like I just love strain. Like I need to know.
It's called Runts, actually. It's a very fruity, sweet kind of forcey taste.
Yeah, that's what got you. Keep smoking that because it's gonna get you
smoking that.
He's like, it's the good mood kind.
That's
our hottest wrestler of the week.
Smoked yet, so
When you show up,
what is that one called again?
it's called Runts.
Yeah, put that over. Runt. That's the hottest wrestler of the week. Runt, because it got Damian to admit that AEW put on a good match.
God damn it.
my hottest though. So my hottest wrestler of the week, and we're gonna get into it when we talk about NXT. That boy Melo, and I said it before. He's been saying it since day one. But when Melo shoot, he don't miss.
No.
That match was fire.
So Melo, and shout out to Apollo too as well. Gotta put out, it takes two to tango. But
no, Apollo put him
Melo
over.
has been just since he stepped foot, really.
Yeah.
Carmelo Hayes has been put in the spotlight. Let's be real. They threw him into the wolves, and he has came out and proven himself each and every time. And it just proves that what I said in 2020, that Christian Casanova was the next hottest thing to step foot in professional wrestling. And my statement has been proven true. And I just want everyone to know that I know what I be talking about.
I never denied that.
The
man's
there are
great
people
talent.
who did, man. There are people
I don't know
who
how.
did.
I don't know how because he was proving it.
We had a lot of engagement and okay, and I seen it. People
What was
thought
it,
I
that
was
breakout
crazy.
tournament that he was in?
I'm talking about on the
even,
Indies.
yeah, but even before the breakout
Even
Well,
tournament,
before
when he was on
that.
the
I'm just
Indy,
saying, like
yeah.
on a national level, for him to be exposed to like the world, basically,
Yeah,
he showed the fuck out like he should have. Like
absolutely.
it was
He
one of
was
those things
legit.
because you know how like some people won't do that. Like they're like, oh, I'm like, but nah, like I give him his props. Good shit.
Like that was the I think in the that was the last class of indie type talent that was like the top tier that should have been on the main roster. To be completely honest, Carmelo Hayes was already main roster ready. Can we? I said that.
I don't disagree with that, but I
He
like
was.
the fact that he's in NXT
Yeah,
because it gives him more time to grow for the
agree.
company. And it'll be a betterment when he has that under his belt because now he knows exactly what to expect because that's what they groom you for.
Agreed.
Well,
Absolutely.
and I think had he jumped to the main roster like originally, right? Let's just say like he signs in with WWE, they just put him in the main roster. I think he gets lost in the shuffle because of I don't want to. We'll be like that. We'll be like that because who had the company at the time, right? We're looking at
Yeah.
it now, and we see that obviously powers that used to be there that are not really there anymore, and we see Hunter taking it and running with it, and now we can see the smooth transitions of the workers who he brought in to the workers that he wants on a main roster. We can see that happening because I mean, just look at Theory, man. Like we all saw Theory in the way that he was kind of being trudged along, and we're like, dang, man, that like we don't know what was really gonna happen. But then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, like this man, as soon as Hunter takes over, he's like, hey, and we made fun of him. Let's be real, we made fun of him
Oh no, we
about
did. We
dropping
did.
that
But
challenger for
it
the
was
U.S.
the
title and then not getting it. And now
it was
look
the
at him.
best thing though. If you really
Yeah,
think
it
about
really
it, was the best thing for him because like seriously, were they really gonna put the title on him? Were they gonna really let him beat Roman?
No.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, granted, yeah, we would have all liked him to see him cashed in, whether he was successful or not. But I don't know. It puts it on a different level for him to act the way that he's acting now. If that makes any sense.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I want to watch Austin Theory now. When he won the Money in the Bank, I could care less to see Austin Theory. I'm sorry, Theory at the time.
Right.
And I think losing the Money in the Bank briefcase, like you said, was the best thing for him. Because he wasn't.
No.
He was
We all
never
know
going to beat Roman. I don't think that was ever in the cards, to be completely honest. I think from jump, he was supposed to cash in for the U.S. title. I think that was always the plan because you can challenge for any title. And they haven't done that yet. Because really, why would you challenge for a mid-card title? But then again,
Exactly.
like you said, it's Roman fucking Reigns.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like on the
It's
real
like-
real, if I won Money in the Bank and Brock Lesnar was champion, I ain't cashing in.
Right. Why do you want to open that bag of worms? Because let's just say you do end up successful. You do take the title off Brock. Why you want that problem?
Now you got the smoke.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
All of it.
so like a lot of people were talking to like, oh, why is this mid card? You would that makes sense. Okay, cool. It's Seth Rollins. I got a better chance. At least if I'm the heel, I can. Oh yeah, Seth Rollins ain't nothing. Whatever. Psh, psh, yeah, okay. I can deal with that smoke. Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar. Nah, fam.
No, I'm good. I don't want to be a part of that mix.
So it was fine. It was cool that he had it and he cashed in on that. Now, whether or not he lost it or not, I would have liked him to win it then and there. That would have been cool. Like, haha, being that, that Money in the Bank, yeah, we can cash on mid-card belts. And guess what? You're going to think that everyone's going to win, make it successful for mid-card belts. But I guess, keep that whole, like, you can lose.
Yeah. Well, because more people have won than lost.
Exactly. And
Right.
I think that's another thing, too. They're probably, they're going to, retcon that, like, it's the more people won than lost, which I feel like if you think in the long run will probably change towards.
Well, yeah, it should because people by now should be more aware and equipped that, oh, yeah, this definitely can happen every year.
Yeah, like somebody yeah.
And then once that person cashes in, you could kind of have like that relief, like, hey, that bear isn't on my back. Like I don't have to turn around every 5 seconds to see where that person's at. Like once they cash in and they do it, like as a champ, like I'd be relaxed and be like, "Ayo, like, whew, all right, we're past that one because that person." Like I think it would have been cool if Austin would have tried to cash in on Roman, but then you just have the bloodline beat the dog shit out of him because then he still keeps his heat because he's still a heel, but then like he's not successful because hey, look, it was 5 guys who just throttled Theory and cost him his opportunity. You know what I mean? It's not like the John Cena versus Damian Sandow situation, right? Where it's like, oh, he cashed in and still couldn't get the job done, or like Baron Corbin with John Cena. It's not that kind of situation. And this one would be so unique because Theory could have cashed in on like Roman, but then you have obviously the bloodline right there, just eliminate his possibility of getting it. And then everybody could be like, well, why would you do it on Roman? Because he's the damn champ. That's why. And it would make sense. But I also get why, you know. But I do like this version of Theory though. So I definitely have to, you know, give props to him because he's definitely it's fun to watch him now do his thing.
Agreed. Definitely agree. All right, moving on.
Yo, wait. Can we talk about today? Because I low key like.
Oh, you're right. We didn't talk about today.
Oh.
All right. So y'all two have had eventful days. Nothing was eventful for me, really. So who wants to go? We should poll the audience. Like in here. Let's poll the audience like millionaire. Be like, yeah. Do you guys want the good news or the bad news?
Well, is it really bad news? I mean, I feel like it's good news and I mean, maybe not as good news, but just like okay news.
True.
I was like, because I mean, go ahead, Damian. Let's do that, and then we can talk about what happened earlier today with me.
What's going? You mean what's going on with me?
Yeah.
Look, see people put bad news.
Well, I have some good news. It's not wrestling related, but I have some good news. So I got offered an assistant manager position for a pizza place to eventually become the owner.
Let's go.
That's it.
And so I'm gonna go check it out Monday. You know, see what the profits are like and see how things is, and if it's something that I feel is cool, I'll end up becoming the owner of a pizza joint.
Yeah, that's awesome. See, that's not bad news. I mean,
yeah. Well, I lost my other job by cussing out my boss.
There you go.
See,
That's it.
That's what we're looking for.
That's what we're looking for.
They pissed me off, and they basically tried to basically reprimand me for something that was happening in front of their faces, and they didn't do anything about what was happening in front of their faces. Pretty much about on the same kind of like wavelength of what I was getting in trouble for. Now, don't get me wrong. At that point in time, I was like, you know what, fuck this place. I was already on that level. Especially, I had that revelation when I was in Baltimore at my grandmother's funeral. And somebody from work called me while I was at the funeral.
That's crazy.
Y'all know I'm not there. You know why I'm gone. Why are you contacting me? From that point forward, it was like one of those, like, this is not for me. I can't do this.
See, look,
so like I was already in that mode.
See? So you became your own boss. That sounds like great news to me.
Yeah, no, it is great news. I work better as being my own boss. I'm not really that great working for other people.
Yo, we got the best fans. Dark Lord Pizza, angry, bitter, but good.
I love it. Hey, yo,
that's good.
I love it.
That's great.
That's great.
So yeah, I guess it's like there's bad news because, you know, I'm not working for my old job. I'm not going to put them out there like that because I don't want to ruin their reputation for the BS of my old boss because their food is still good.
This is Chaz and friends, all right?
Yeah, so like I
controversial takes.
Yeah, but I ain't gonna do that to him. That was just a personal experience. It didn't work out. We didn't see eye to eye. It just is what it is.
Not Damian taking the high road. What is wrong with you today? You need.
Hey man, hey yo, shout out to Runt. The runt strand is in it, and he is just getting messed up right now. If this was a wrestling match, this would be the shine for Runt before the darkness takes over and the real heat begins.
This is crazy. This man said,
well, see, I took the low road by cussing her out.
It is what it is, though, at that point. No, we all see. Look, so eventually, what happened was, right, is if you guys don't realize, it was a triple threat match. All right, it was the Boss, Runt, and the Dark Lord. And eventually, Runt came out on top because Damian is feeling way too good about himself.
So bad. I did call my wife and make sure it was all right before I did it.
shout out to you.
I was like, hey, like, I want to quit my job right now. Are you cool with that? She was like, what happened? I told her what happened. She was like, you know what? Do you? I support you. Bet. I like it. Say less. I'll call you back in like 5 minutes. I went in there and laid her ass out.
But yeah, so check this out, right? So today, Baltimore Celeste Fest was going on, and I took my KK with me, right? So we went, and as we're like cool, kicking around and stuff like that, talking, everybody sees Kira again for the first time, like in like 2 years. And just people are floored about like how tall she is. So listen,
I understand. I do the same thing, and I've seen her. And I've seen her since she's been grown. And every time I'm like, why are you this tall?
Yo, so it was funny watching Grimm's face from GTS when he saw her, and he was just like, oh wow, you've definitely got tall after 2 years. And same thing with like James Ellsworth, because obviously they had that segment together on Grimm's Toy Show, which shout out to Grimm for even just like giving us that opportunity. But yeah, so that happened. And then like, so we go through, we start meeting everybody again, like all the people that we've had on the podcast, shout out to a bunch of them, right? So Christina Marie was one of them that we went and saw and talked to for a quick bit. And then, we could go through like the who's who name after that, right? But more importantly, where I want to get into, right, is this. So how many of us get the opportunity to talk to like our childhood voices, right? And I say that in the sense that I've been listening to Tony Schiavone since like 1995, right? Since WCW forever.
That's before I was born.
Yeah, see, not you. You don't get to listen. You don't get to listen.
Yeah, I was listening to him for a long time too.
So I got to sit down with Tony Schiavone and just have like a quick like 15-minute conversation with him about the business and stuff like that. So it was definitely something that I looked at it and I thought about the opportunities that a lot of us, we always talk about, like, we always want to wait for like that proper time to kind of like shoot our shot, right? More or less is how I want to put it. But I took the time to sit down and talk with him, man. And it was like one of the coolest experiences for me, because here I am talking to the person who like kind of molded my wrestling childhood, and get to talk to him about like how cool, how much I appreciated like listening to him and how he was getting over, ask him advice about like what to look for, pitfalls and stuff like that in the wrestling business. It was just fun being able to sit down with him. And then not even that, but then like turn around and just walk across the hallway, right? And go talk to Kip Sabian and have a 20-minute conversation with Kip Sabian about wrestling and about like things to look for and stuff like that. So it's like, these were the things that I thought was very important, because I was like, like, here's these guys that are reaching levels that we talk about all the time. And I get to go have that opportunity to have that conversation with them. And I thought that was I took full advantage of like just the small time that I had with them, but I thought it was very important to like start it, because even for the podcast, right, one of the things that I love asking is the question, and you guys hear it a lot lately, right, is like, what's one of the hardest lessons you've had to learn being in this business? And to be able to see people like have to take a step back, think about that question because they've never been asked that question before, and then like come with their answer, it was so cool, because like Kip like took the time to sit down and chat with me about like everything inside the business. And I definitely want that to be known, that like, you can have these full-on conversations with these people, right? You got to find the appropriate time to have those conversations. You can't just like roll up on somebody at some other place, but have that conversation with people and talk to them, and you're going to get so much out of it. And I wanted to put it over because it was such a great day today, not just in that sense of being able to talk with like Kip and Tony, but to go kick it with our homies, right? The Renegade Twins. Shout out to Charlotte and Robin, as they are flying currently. Hopefully they're watching the show, because I definitely told them that they could see the show. I sent them the link and everything. But to sit back and talk with them and just enjoy like being a fan and just like talking with people about everything. Like it was cool, man. I get to shout out to Khan because we sat down with Khan and I introduced him to Kira and then we had our conversations and having fun. Like it's one of those moments that you want to take the time to just enjoy. And I know he's not very popular like on the scene like at all, but I got to have a conversation with Ryback again, right? Which is the third time that I got to meet him. And we talked about it where I showed him a picture and he was like, oh, that's from Vegas, right? He was like, when we had some like Game Con, and I was like, yeah. I was like, we were at the GameStop convention back in 2015. And I definitely wanted to like talk to you and stuff. And he's like, no. And then I told him, I was like, now that I'm getting into the business. I've been in my third year. He's like, yo, congratulations. He's like, you've made these steps. He's like, keep going. And I thought that was just cool. It was just the idea that I get to have this conversation with Ryback and listen to him just kind of be excited for me to like make my journey. It was just a fun time that, like I said, I got to just kind of like download myself and just be there and enjoy the experience. So I definitely want to big shout outs to Baltimore Slug Fest for just like letting me kind of just like pick the ear of a bunch of people and just BS with them.
And fan out.
Yeah, fan out.
No, and look, as a worker and a wrestler, I feel like we need to do that more often. Like to just fan out, like to just be a fanboy, because 90% of us that do this have been a fan since yay little.
Yeah, that's why we got into the business. That was something actually
Exactly.
funny enough. That's something that Gilbert told me. He was like, listen, like you got into the business because you were a mark. He's like, there's obviously like a time and place and a way to be a mark, but obviously don't do it like all the time. But I was like, this opportunity was just great for me. So I was like, sat back. And I sat back with Dwayne and had a conversation with him too. And it was just fun, like having these interactions with these people. He's doing great. He's doing great.
Doing
especially like, yeah. So it was just cool to be able to sit back and just kind of smile and enjoy myself as a fan and not have to be like, oh my God, like I gotta keep a certain persona. Because even Red Dog himself like lives in like this upper attic of like people don't talk to him because he's way too out there. So
people don't talk to me because they're scared of me. So
well, I mean, you live in the basement. That's appropriate, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's about right.
Does anybody remember? Like, remember that scene in Home Alone when like Kevin was afraid to go downstairs because like the basement made all the rumbles? That's Damian. Like people go down there and they're like scared, and you just hear them. Like, oh God! He runs back upstairs.
Hey, nobody messes with you in the basement. I promise. It's a great place to be. I love it.
Wow.
Love it.
All right.
People can't hear you scream down there.
Goodbye.
Put lotion on his skin or get the hose again.
Goodbye. So, moving on. Anyway,
keep going.
did he? Oh, he just walked off.
No, keep going.
Oh, I'm about to say, what is he doing?
No, he said
I
keep
walked
going.
off.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I was like, sorry. My dog is sitting there crying because my wife just got home, so she wants to go see her. So I was like, all right, let me open the door and let her go.
I was about to say, Cliff doesn't walk off. That's my shtick. Like, what did I say? So, like, is he upset that I'm moving on? Like,
this is my segment now.
Is he still want to have his moment? Like, geez, do you want 5 more minutes?
Red Dog on a cloud.
Right? Like, do you want more minutes? Like, do you want more time?
No, let's go. I want to get to the next segment.
Yeah, let's keep going.
It's
All right,
Chaz and friends, not living on a Red Dog cloud.
You're right. That's why I was wondering. Like, gee, I gave you time. Like, man. Anyway, so report came out. Daniel Bryan and Bryan Danielson. I'm sorry. He said that Vince McMahon had gave him a call and like it was like, let me pull it up so I can actually get it. So in early 2020, Vince McMahon called Bryan Danielson and asked the question that shocked him. Said, "Do you see anything that AEW is doing better than us?" And this is when Danielson, he spent 2 weeks watching Dynamite, and he told Vince, he said that AEW committed more time to actual in-ring stuff like actual wrestling, and whereas WWE is more segment based. And he said pretty much that WWE is a wrestling show without any wrestling. So the debate topic is: do we agree with Danielson's comments? Let's go with the Dark Lord, and then I'll go second, and Cliff, you can end on this one.
All right, so yeah, I kind of have to agree with that one. It's gotten better, slowly but surely. It's getting better, but I want to say in the past 20 years, it's been like that. If you really think about it, I mean, even like in the Attitude Era, actually, maybe even longer. It's always been like that. It's always about the building of the character, and wrestling's always been secondary for the most part. So yeah, I have to agree with that.
Okay. I want to put it out there that I've also said this before. I said this in 2020 as well. And I've said it in 2021. I said it in 2022. WWE, and at the time, like we said, I think it takes time for a huge dramatic change, but there are some slight differences. I mean, Jesus Louise, we had Baron Corbin on for 20 minutes a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks in a row. And I went through 2 commercial breaks, and I thought that was insane. For a Monday Night Raw, I thought that was insane. Even with a 3-hour show, I was like, wow, you're using a lot of time on this match. Wait, what's going on? You're doing wrestling? And I've always said this. I said WWE is a parody of itself. It's a parody of wrestling. You're right.
Entertainment.
It kind of started in the 90s during the Attitude Era when we switched from a more not even a mature content of it. It was more of the segments than of the actual matches. People don't realize that the Attitude Era, people glorify some of these matches, and a lot of the matches weren't all that great. If you want to talk about
it was the segments. It was the segments and what they were doing that made everything come together.
Correct. Whereas nowadays, more people are talking about the actual payoff, the actual match, than they are about the build-up and certain segments. You can name segments out the wazoo during, from the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era, even the PG era. If you want to talk about now, you couldn't give me someone who really can talk about really big segments in the past 5 years. But you can give me matches though, but you can name off more matches.
Yeah. You
can more moments out of the matches than the segments. More people have been we have been accustomed. I think it's a lot of people call it the independent wrestling, movement, whatever people have been calling it, that rise of the independents. Whereas people care about match rate. People care about work rate now. Like, I want to see a match. I want to see 2 people struggle. Give me the story inside the ring. Not necessarily give me them talking and segments, and let me see motherfuckers fight. Yeah. So I agree with Brian and what he said. I've been saying it from jump. There's more wrestling everywhere else than in WWE, and that's why when people ask me, it's funny because I get this question a lot. Oh, you wrestle like WWE? And that's because WWE is the mainstream. It's like the NFL, but you don't know there's other football leagues out there. But everybody knows what the NFL and what's football. The NFL, no. The NFL don't own football. People think that they don't own football. No. They just got a lot of money. They're just one big league. You got the CFL. You got the XFL. You got the LFL. And there's a bunch of different football leagues. But
and high school football, that's AEW.
I wouldn't say.
I'm joking. That was messed up.
I would definitely say.
I had to say something mean. No, I had to say something mean. I had to. It's bugging me.
You should at least said Division 3.
Yeah, you brought a point there.
Right, if you want to do that one.
Yeah, you're right. That was a little below the belt.
Yeah, but yeah, I agree with Brian. It is.
It's so weird that truth serum is actually like hitting him like that.
Yeah, exactly. All right, go ahead, Red Dog.
I'm gonna have to switch up my shit now.
No, you got to keep that one. Hey, whoever sold him that, make sure he gets the brunt every time. Tell him it's something different, but it is like, be like, yeah, this one here, this is the narcoleptic, right? But it's really like the brunt, just looks in a different case. Just make sure you keep beating him that one. Hey, I do want to go through some of the comments, right? So we do have someone, Mr. Golden says that wrestling has changed. Too, back in the day, wrestling was Bruno Backlund. Wrestling moves, counters, and very little high flying. Now it's all about high flying and power guys.
Agreed.
This is true. Yeah.
It is very true.
Yeah.
Yes.
So wrestling has changed with the times and with the business. I definitely want to keep things going. Wrestling changed when kayfabe went away. I might have to say that wrestling has no, because even when kayfabe went away, like I still feel like there were still a lot of characters out there that were still like there's still a lot of stuff going on with wrestling wise.
Yeah,
I mean, we try to keep it. We try to keep it alive as much as possible.
Yeah, but I understand the point that like wrestling changed when kayfabe went away. Like I understand that point, but people still like now. I mean, there's still a lot of wrestling that's happening. It's actually I think it's starting to come back. I think we're starting to see it too because like if you watch the indies, like the indies always tell you what's coming up. Like it always happens, right? Like a few years ago, we were looking at guys like Alex Zane and Trey Miguel, and we're looking at guys that were like Ricochet, Will Ospreay, right? But now we're talking about people who have work rates, right? So we're looking at Kenny Omega, we're looking at Cody Rhodes, we're looking at Seth, we're looking at if we want to go through the indie scene, right? Robert Martyr, right, is a definite name that we've been seeing like come through, and he's just a solid wrestler. So we're starting to see it transition again, and it always happens. So it always comes back full around. I have to agree with Bryan Danielson, right, in the sense that back when I was watching wrestling, WWE a few years ago, right? I mean, there was the best segment that we thought happened was the rap battle between like the Usos and the New Day, right? Like we talked about that a lot because it was like we understood like how great like that segment was, and the wrestling match was phenomenal. It's not gonna say like it wasn't good, but that was a big thing. We talk about the Yes Movement, right? Where Daniel Bryan, they hijacked Raw with a whole bunch of people wearing Daniel Bryan shirts, right? We talk about we talk about all like the great segments that kind of led to bigger and better angles, right? But it was like that's what WWE was doing. While when we were watching AEW, it'd always be like some wrestling match that sparked off something else, right? For goodness sakes, we saw I know he's not really looked at, right? But we saw Eddie Kingston and CM Punk start an angle in less than 2 weeks and have a fire wrestling match, right?
Oh,
so it just goes to show that
they legit did that all bruh. Let me tell you something, and I just because you brought that up, and yeah, I know we know a lot of people. Phil's not the best person to talk about right now, but Phil does good work, and just facts are facts. When Phil does good work, Phil does good work.
Yeah.
Phil don't miss when he shoots either. Like the Eddie Kingston thing. You know how that started? Remember the actual segment that started it?
Yeah, I remember. They were just it was just an interview.
Interviewing them, and what you call it? Eddie was in the background talking trash and then pulled up, and then he was like disrespectful. It looked, real. And that's what started off. Just that alone, people were already, I need the match. And then, of course, they did it again another week. And then they had the actual, the face off. And then I think it was the match the next week. But yeah, you're right. 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks.
It was fire. It's just that.
And people don't, it's one of that was.
And now we talk about these fire matches that people are having, right? Whether it was like Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano 1, 2, and 3, right? Or we're talking about like Roman Reigns, like even Roman Reigns, and people are gonna say what they want to say, but when Roman Reigns was fighting Paul, like that match was a fire match, like, and people were like, oh, but it's Logan Paul, and listen, you're just mad because like it's a dude who was on YouTube who came through and trained at the Performance Center for like 8 months, and then guess what he did? Just tore it down with one of the best workers, right? That we see out there. So it's hard not to sit back and be like, no. But we're looking at these guys who can put on these fire matches, and we're excited about it, right? And we get them from out of nowhere sometimes. I think I have to agree with a couple years ago when Bryan Danielson was, when he legitimately said it, right? It's just that WWE was all about, hey, let's let's tell these long drawn out stories that people really aren't paying attention to, and we'll see how it works. Whereas AEW was like, we're gonna give you this match. We know we could put this on pay-per-view, but we're just gonna give it to you guys because we want you guys to invest in the product. Where like now, I kind of feel like AEW is still like, I guess they're like treading on their feet. They're still trying to figure out like how else to keep things moving, but like I don't know. But a couple years ago, yeah, 100%, I would have to agree that AEW just like they were just like, we're gonna give you this match. We're gonna give you this match. Oh, you want to see the elite? All right, here's the elite. Like, yo, we didn't have to sit back and be like, oh, they want to do a contract signing where they're sitting in the ring cutting promos for 15 minutes, telling a story when they could tell the same story in the ring about what they want to get accomplished. So I think when I look at it, I'm like, yeah, I 100% agree.
All right. Let's move on to this or that. What you got?
Dang. We got to talk about it, right? So let's talk about this or that, which we're going to talk about characters. So what I want to do is I want to talk about best character work, right? And how we're going to distinguish this is between heels, right? But what I want to do is I want to take Roddy Piper versus MJF. And whoever wants to go first, yeah, that's on you. Now that we have like this dead space right in the middle.
Yeah, I hate Dead Space.
Everybody was like,
because I went into deep thought.
I did too. I did too.
Thought.
I just went,
yes.
huh.
Everybody was like,
that's what
it's
just like, huh.
Everybody at home, and when y'all think about this question too, you're probably gonna be the same way where we were, where it was just dead quiet. We just didn't know. So someone has to fill the time. That's me for right now.
So okay. It's like I want to go the typical answer and be like, well, you don't get MJF without Piper. And I feel like that's just the cop out of not like giving an actual profound answer. Like, so I think I'm gonna go with Piper. My reasoning being because a lot of MJF stuff is really is real cheap heat, and the character to me of MJF, I'm just more gravitated to the character of Rowdy Piper. Because I think once you put those two together, we instantly talk about, oh, well, who draws more heat? Okay, that's what we do, with heels. But if you want to look at just character work, period, I'm going to go with Piper. Because like I said, if you take MJF's cheap heat, what's the gimmick? Really? Because even the stuff where he was playing, like pretending to be a face during the John Moxley run before he won the belt, nothing. It's just, it don't hit. He's a heel. There's the gimmick. What's the gimmick then? I'm better than you. You know it. That's okay. Well, that's why that helps with the giving the cheap heat, like the subtle shots, did he really say that on TV? Piper had all that and still had a character, legitimately. And Richard said, his comment was the coconut, man. Case closed. I agree. Because still to this day, people are talking about Piper smacking that coconut over Jimmy Snuka.
Oh, there was so much behind that.
I was in the building. Listen, I wrestled in that building. People talk about that, not just that setting, but that was the place where that's. Then no one's talking about that for MJF. At least not yet. At least,
yeah.
No one's saying that. Oh, this is the building MJF did this. No, man. So, I'm gonna go with Piper.
All right.
I still love
All
MJF.
right.
I still think he's listen, and I've always liked MJF from Jump Street, but if we want to talk like just character wise and not like because not just heat, how much he can get heat and how much not. Just character, period. It's Piper.
All right. So I think I got my answer, and like I'm taking the perspective as like me being a wrestler. So standing across from Piper, like him as a heel, like I don't know if I want to fight Piper. Like Piper would make me nervous. Whereas MJF, I just want to punch him in the suckhole. Because he's like that kind of heel. Like, no, I love MJF, but he's that kind of heel. It's like you want to beat him up. There is no fear. You do not fear MJF. You just want to hurt him. It's not saying that he can't fight back. It's just that there's no
I'm gonna
fear.
take the chance. I'm gonna take the chance to fight MJF. Like
Like if I had to choose between Piper and MJF, I'm going after MJF, hands down.
Right.
Like with Piper, like that man made me uneasy as a child.
Yeah, I mean, I feel
like
that.
I believe, put it like this: I believe the hype that he was a dangerous person. Like just hands down.
I think I'll agree with you guys. I'm gonna go with Piper as well, and the reason why is because MJF is 23 years old, and like he is building this character, and his character is garnering a lot of heat. Whereas Piper, at his peak, he was definitely like the heat magnet, right? He had it down to a science, and MJF is still learning. With that being said, though, like MJF's character is like far beyond what Roddy's was at his age, and I don't mean that to be disrespectful. It's just something that we all know, right? But what I do love about Piper is that he just had a knack for like getting everybody so pissed that they were like breaking beer bottles to want to stab this man repeatedly, and like they needed extra security to get this guy in and out of everything. So I think what I love about him too is that like when he was on the mic, he just did not show you why he was better than in the ring. He let you know it, told you why he was going to do it, gave you time to prep, and then still showed you why you couldn't hang with him in the ring. So I think that's something I love about Piper, and I think that's something that definitely goes unforgotten about is that like his character work was like clearly way ahead. Now, I will say this: give about 10 years, and I bet you we probably say the same thing about MJF in this comparison, in this wraparound. So yeah, I think I'm gonna lean that way. And then so we'll go with Piper on that one right now.
Alrighty. Well, on that note, for those of you who are still with us, make sure you type in who you think, whether it's Piper or MJF. We'll probably put a poll out on the Bird app, and definitely let us know what you all think. So that's the end. So all my PlayStation users, okay, you get yourself a nice platinum trophy, okay? My Xbox users, you get an achievement because, this show was a little was not too much off the rails, but it was off the rails because Damian was being nice to AEW. And,
yeah, and you want to hear something really bad? I have nothing to complain about.
Exactly.
Hey, yo, shout outs to Runt. Shout outs to Runt for that.
Like I've been sitting here trying to think about it. I'm like, man, everything's been pretty freaking decent.
He's like, everything is great.
Whole week. Like I really can't on like every front, everything that I've seen, clips that I've seen, shows that I've watched, everything's actually been pretty decent.
With that, our show
out here living in Legoland.
Thank our sponsor Runts for the show.
God dang it.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you've not already,
I need to smoke some more.
If you've not already done so, make sure you follow us on your favorite social medias. Buy our merch at Pro Wrestling Team because at the end of the month, it's going on for your wear. I promise. It's gonna be gone by the end of the month. So go get
Y'all
it
heard
now.
that, right? The 28th, he's gonna have
23 days. That's what you
That
guys get.
23
you know what?
days.
I'll accept that by the first of the month that it'll be changed over.
All right, cool. I got till March 1st. Cool. So on March 1st,
March 1st.
you'll
Yeah.
see it's on For Your Wear. Make sure you buy a shirt. Follow me at Chaz_the Don. Follow him at _Red
Other
Dog
way.
85.
Other way. Other
You're
way.
right.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
that
yeah,
way.
yeah.
I hate this so much. Don't follow Damian. He don't want your follow.
No, I do not. Please don't.
Don't
I
follow
have
him.
things. I have things you might not want to see.
That
Don't
is
follow me.
terrifying because
Yeah.
I actually do follow you. Buy a Dark Lord pizza, extra cheese, and just listen to another episode. Just be there. All right, just listen. I actually made it to 1 hour and 51 seconds. We did
Look
that.
at that. There you go.
Peace.
Hey, 3 Count Podcast listeners, it's your host, the icon Chaz Evans here. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms. That's the Facebook, that's the Twitter, that's the Instagram, that's the Snapchat. Wait, we don't have Snapchat. The photo, but we don't have Photo Bucket. But make sure you follow us on all those things at 3Count Podcast or at 3Count_pod. That's on the Twitter, by the way, 3Count_pod. But yeah, definitely also make sure you check out our YouTube channel and subscribe to our videos. And if you really like us a lot, definitely go find us on ProWrestlingTees.com/3CountPod and get yourself a 3 Count Podcast t-shirt. And make sure you continue listening to us.